Okay, me again. Still same day, still same project, and I'm picking up exactly where I left off. Um, um, I would like to say I did it on purpose, but it turned out the place where I stopped was a natural breaking place because I think just about everything we did, except for symbolic constants, they're part of the model. Just about everything that we did was in the view. Now, before we could make the letters show up on the screen, remember, the screen is responsible for just reflecting what's going on in the model. So we need to go to the model first and set letters in a guess. There's already a select letter function. It's already kind of complicated. I kind of dread making that worse. I at least want more space. There. I don't know how much that helps. But here's the deal. When the user clicks on a letter on the screen, we register the letter that the user selected, the user singular, selected in the view keyboard. And in other words, there's our new variable, tap letter index. We unwrap the optional and check to see if there was already some current letter selected. That's on the keyboard. That's not in a guess. They're not selecting letters in the guess. Those are not tappable. Only the keyboard. They can only tap on the keyboard if they want to change things. So they tap on a letter. If there was already some previous letter they tapped on, then we set that one selected to false and then set the current one to true. Now, that's all great and wonderful if all we're doing is print debug messages to the screen. But we need to do more. Put the selected letter or tapped letter, whatever you want to call it, in the next POSITION in the current said current view. Oh my goodness, that'd be horrible. In the current guess, that's what it is. A guess, you'll recall, is a row of 5 letters. And whatever letter they selected, if you remember how Wordle works, whatever letter you touch on the keyboard, I don't want that. Whatever letter you touch on the keyboard, that goes into the next available position in the current word. And then when you fill that up, you can press enter. But that's looking way down the road. So what I'll need to do is set the user guesses for the current row. Our current row here it is. Row of current guess. That could just as easily be called current guess, but it is also a row on the screen. Maybe that's another variable who needs to get its name changed. But the current row starts at the top of the view interface, and that's the first guess that they're filling in. So this is the guess that they're filling in. And not only that, they can only fill in one position, guess letters. And we don't want to insert. I think we've already got the array initialized. Let me double check. Guess letters, user guesses, guess letters. I don't even remember where that is. Down below? No. User guesses. Maybe I've got the wrong array. I need my picture of my data structures and I don't have it. There's letter options. I'm not sure where I got guess letters, but that's an array. Oh, it's in a different file, and I made all the files go away. There they are. There's my array of guess letters, and that's all that's in there. Guess holds a single word guess of the secret word, and guess letters is an array of int optionals. There's too many things to remember. I really, really do need a picture. I am not joking. Which one? I'm calling it position. I think it's actually the column that we're in, but I'll worry about that in a second. Equals, and we need an index number for these. These are optionals. And the index number is the one they just selected. So that's a tapped letter index. Our new variable. And we know that it has a value now because we just now set it to a value, whether it was previously set or not. What we don't have, and I know what it's complained about, I bet you, what we don't have is position. So I think we need to get position or column. Subject to change in name. Up here at the top with all the variables, I'm trying to keep the variables separate from all the functions and stuff. So, and the variables are in no particular order. This will be something, position, or column, same thing, of the current guest letter. And I might even need to adjust that comment later. But it's a variable, it's a position, and it's an integer, and it doesn't need to be optional. The first letter that we're going to fill in is letter 0 of guess 0. So now at least I've got a value for that variable, and here it is. Put the selected letter in the next position in the guess, and it did it. We did it. And I'm going to claim that we did it with a print statement. Liberally print things. This is the model speaking. Please pay attention. The model says just set guess current row. And is it getting this right? To user guesses.current row guess letter? Well, we don't need all that. That's true. It did do that. But I'm going to go with tap letter index. That's more direct. And that is what we set it to be. Okay? Oh, I forgot to exclaim it. Proclaim it. Now let's see. Moment of truth. I'm going to put an S right here. I don't see it. Tapped on S. View model, trying to choose letter, index 1, model. Just set guess 0 to 1? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't even get my print statement right. Let me stop running it. Just set guess row. What? Oh, I need to say what the position is. Even though it didn't do it, whatever I'm telling it to do. Got to debug my print statements first. Let's try that again. Now it should go here. You'll recall it should go here if it's my very first letter that I tap on the keyboard. No choice. It can't go here. It can't go here. It must go here. So F should go there. Just set guess 0, position 0 to 3, which sounds wonderful. And I believe, didn't we? Am I totally going insane? We did set it in a place where the model can see it. Somebody can't see it that needs to see it. I suspect another observed object missing. That's what I suspect. This should show up in the guess view. Letter guess view. Letter guess row view. Is it your fault, letter guess row view? Non-constant range. Oh, we're not putting any letters in there. Holy moly. Don't tell anybody I'm losing my mind. They'll figure it out on their own. This needs to, we need to actually set a value for the letter ID. Thank you. And it needs to be an integer. It needs to be, it needs to be retrieved from the view model. Here we go again. Var local VM. Remember, I've got to pass in a value for local VM when I make a letter guess row, and it will be the view model. And I know in advance it's going to need to be able to see what's going on in the outside world. So it needs to be an observed object. There. Like we know what we're doing. I'll even put a blank line just to make it stand out a little bit. So to get the letter ID, I'm going to need to ask the view model, what is the ID of the letter in this position way back in the model? Local VM dot, what does that need to be? Local VM, it's helping me model user guesses, is that right? Row and not letters, but guess letters. Is that right? The view model, go back and look at the user's guesses on this particular row and the guess letters this particular index. Here's the variables. The user guesses as an array of guess, and guess is just an array of optionals. At some point I'm going to have these memorized, but not today. Non-constant range, if that's the best you can come up with, then I'm going to roll with this. Build failed. Missing argument. So every time I make a letter guess row, missing argument for, I know. Local VM is, and this is dangerous. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm passing this local VM to become the local VM inside my letter guess row, and it doesn't even like that. Well, that's just foolishness. You have to have your parameters in the right order. What's the point of naming the parameters if they have to be in the right order? Okay. Here's my local VM first. But this local VM is the one right here. The one in letter guess row is this one. Do I want to come up with another one? I will. 2. This is a local VM 2. So there we go. Local VM 2. So now I go back to where I was, or forward to where I was. And I'm passing in a parameter for local VM 2 because I'm a local view model 2. Don't leave me out. There. I don't even remember how many changes I've made now. I'm going to take a comment break. The list of all user guesses at the secret word. We haven't even talked about the secret word, but this is all of them. This is that whole collection, that whole two-dimensional array that at the moment is blissfully blank, white as a driven snow. There's a row 3, row 2. Here's F. Oh, there it is. Except I'm setting the same letter over and over and over and over again. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. It's going to be hard to build a word when you do that. And also, mental note, it caused a gap to appear. If you didn't catch that, let me show you. Here's everything all nice and orderly and neat. Click on D. D shows up, but it left a gap here. So there's another cosmetic detail that's going to have to be addressed. And let's see, who's responsible for that? That's the model. Of course it is. The model, after it's just set the current letter, it needs to leave that current letter alone. Of course it does. And go to the next position. So, go to the next letter position in a guess word. Is that the best way to describe this? In the user's guess. So that the next letter they tap will go in the next position. And that should be easy. Position, look at helping me. Position equals position plus 1. If position, what's it trying to do here? I don't know. I'm not going to be tempted. Get away from here. Now, I know what it was doing. We can't go on indefinitely. I can test this, but I can crash it. I can crash our program. We'll have an intentional crash and see what it says. S, G, look, you did it. A, what's the word that starts with SGA? SGA, DS, index out of range. Big crash and burn. I knew it. So that's what it is. If position equals, if I just now increment it, and it is, there is no constant max letters per guess. Isn't it just letters per guess? Help me with this. Letters per guess. So if we got up to 5, then we need to do which? Set it back to 0, right? Let's try that. Yes, I'm very timid. Baby steps, baby steps. Sub increments within the increment. Build succeeded. F, D, S, H, G, A. Yeah, it wrapped around. It's still going to be hard for the user to get any guesses through. But at least we know we can do letters. And now, I mean, this one should, easy for me to say. It should be easy. Not only when we do the max letters per guess, I'm going to make it automatically, even though in the final version it's not going to do that. I'm going to make it go to the next row. So current row plus equals 1. Sometimes AI, you really are, you go beyond A. You are fully intelligent. And of course, that's going to run out the bottom of it as well. This is getting ugly. And this looks good, I think that's what I want to do. If current row, spelled correctly, has made it up to the max guesses, then I'm in danger of running over the end. Then that's an easy fix. I'll go back to the top and let them go through all their guesses again. Until further notice, I mean, all this is subject to change. This is all just artificially filling in the blanks to make sure we can make a connection between the model and the view. C-U-R-R-E-N-T, row, equals 0. When you get to the bottom, when you go back to the top and you run it all over again. It's going to take a while to fill all this in. S, D, A, and that is ugly. And it's making the gap for every row. Well, ideally, if we fix it for one, then we'll fix it for all, but that's not going to be in this video. Enough cosmetic correction for this one. Now, this one, I'm just testing to make sure that I don't crash it when I fill up everything. G, A, and the S should, no, I'm not going to do S. I'm going to do an F. Yeah, it went back to the top. You know what? I think that's enough for one snow day, don't you? And I changed my mind. I don't know if I introduced some new data structures or not, but I certainly introduced some new structured names and some new variables. So I will print out, you're welcome, I will print out hard copies of this latest version of the project for us to pick up on Wednesday, assuming we're back on campus on Wednesday. So if you want to finish the picture of the one you got, that's fine. But I'm going to very quickly map the, whatever it was we were working on, the model first. I'll map the model to the new variable names and structures, and then we'll tackle the view, and ideally we'll be done with all of it Wednesday. But I'm done with this for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye.